everyone. Might need to adjust my mat slightly before we get started. So this morning I'm thinking about, let me check my notes, themes about changing our perspective on our practices, Man, I'm at a loss for words. Let's start from there. So the way that I would like to sequence the class today is a very mindful balance between moving quickly, moving with breath, more vinyasa style, and taking periods where we're really slowing down the movement and really paying attention and listening to the reaction of our bodies to the different shapes as we're in them. So you'll hopefully there'll be a nice contrast between those more quick, faster movements and the slower approach. But we are going to start practice by standing today. So hopefully you've had a chance to roll out your mat, gather any props that you have around your yoga space, and we will meet together by standing in Tadasana at the top of our mats. So look down at your feet, place your feet about hip width distance apart, lift and spread your toes, and then place your toes down. Recognize that you are creating a wide, solid base with your feet on the earth. Now, as you extend energy down through your legs, down into the earth, rooting, connecting with the earth energetically, then draw up the muscles of your legs. So again, as we talked about last week, the knee lock or Janu Bandha, this engagement of all the muscles around the knee joint, lifting into the kneecaps, engaging the quadriceps, engaging the back sides of the legs, lifting into the front of the hip points, lengthen down through the tailbone. So feel that your lower body is rooted and supportive of the upper body. And now lift into the armpits by shrugging your shoulders up towards your ears, lengthening the side body. And then loop your shoulder blades together behind your heart so that your collarbones expand. Feel the contraction of the upper back muscles, and then extend your fingertips towards the floor to lengthen the shoulder blades down the back side of the chest. Turn your palms forward, spread your fingers, and open the skin of your palms. Tilt your chin down parallel to the floor to lengthen the back of your neck as you grow taller through the crown of your head. Now, last little alignment instruction here is to bring a tone into the upper abdomen by drawing the left and right front lower ribs into a central point. This might be considered another lock, the Uddiyana Bandha. So draw the lower ribs in and back. Close your eyes and begin to experience this posture from the inside. So often we practice this shape with the eyes open. By closing the eyes, by shutting off that external sensor, the vision, might you begin to notice more what the pose feels like from the inside? Are you able to sense where your arms are without seeing them? You might notice the distribution of weight in your feet, and you might become more aware of an imbalance between left and right sides. If so, maybe gently shift from side to side. You might become aware of the temperature in the room, where the air is intermingling with the skin. you may start to recognize where you are holding tension in the body. So often, coming to our mats, using these different poses, we might encounter some things that are hard to look at, hard to experience. But my mentality, my perspective is that by looking at those things, although it might be challenging, might be difficult sometimes, by looking at those things, there might be an opportunity for growth, for expansion, for acceptance, for relief, for surrender. So what are you noticing this morning? And are there places in the body where you might be holding on to tension? And by becoming aware of these places, may you begin to surrender. Soften the expression of the face. This is often a place where unconscious tension is held. Maybe the brow is furrowed unconsciously. Maybe your jaw clenches without you being aware of it. Notice those things, soften and neutralize the expression of the face as you turn your awareness in. Begin to breathe slowly, deeply, consciously in and out through your nostrils. And notice if there's resistance to these instructions. I know for myself, I give myself the advice to take a deep breath in moments of tension or high emotion. And sometimes there's some resistance to that act, to that engagement. Consider surrendering to the experience of your breath. Invite your mind to the breath. Begin the practice of Ujjayi pranayama by drawing in a gentle contraction at the back of the throat. Let the sound of this breath be yet another tool to draw your senses into the body, this proprioception. Keeping the eyes closed, with your next inhale, float your arms overhead and bring your palms to touch. Exhale, draw the palms through heart center, and then arms to your sides, turning the palms forward, rolling the shoulders back. Inhale, arms overhead, keep the eyes closed. Exhale, move palms through heart center and arms to your sides, shoulders roll back. Continue this movement with your breath, keeping your eyes closed. And recognize this ability for the arms to move without your vision, your palms to touch without the reference of sight. And perhaps there's a challenge there to bring the palms together without looking. And as you move breath and movement together, notice what else is turned on. Okay, next time, inhale, sweep the arms overhead, keeping the eyes closed. Gently bend your knees as you flow forward. Release the head down and experience this shape with the eyes closed. So what do you feel? Where do you feel? Are there places where you feel that your body is imbalanced or out of alignment? One foot heavier than the other, one hip higher than the other. And with the eyes closed, what adjustments may you begin to make to find more balance between the front of the body and the back of the body, the opening of the shoulders, the neck, the length of the spine, the hamstrings, the entire backs of the legs, and balance between the left and right sides, distribution of weight in the feet, in the inside of the feet, in the outside of the feet, in the front of the feet, in the back of the feet. And then as you inhale next, bring your palms to your shins, hug your shoulder blades together on your back, once again keeping the eyes closed. Halfway lift. Exhale and fold forward. I'm doing this with you, even though your eyes are closed and you can't see me. Inhale, sweep your arms out, up and overhead. Reach up. And then exhale, hands through heart center and arms to your sides. Let's take a moment just to recognize how we might have changed our perspective on this very familiar sun salutation. So how does your experience of these movements, of these shapes change when this external sensory device, when the sight is turned inward? Let's do that a few more times with the eyes closed. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead, palms touch. Exhale, flow forward, head down, fingertips to the earth. Inhale, palms to shins, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise with the breath, reach up, tilt the head up. Exhale, palms through heart center and arms to your sides. Inhale, reach up, grow tall. Exhale, flow forward, fingertips to the earth. Be careful. Inhale, palms to shins, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold deeply in. Inhale, rise to stand, reach up, look up. Exhale, hands through heart center and arms to your side. Let's do one more, eyes closed. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, flow forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, rise. And exhale, hands through heart center. One more with your own count. Option to open your eyes here. We'll meet back in Tadasana. So again, if you've opened your eyes, close them. Bring your palms together in front of your heart and we'll now chant Om 3 times. Exhale and inhale for Om. To your heart, release your arms to your side. Slowly lift your head as you now open your eyes. Okay, bring your inner feet together or place a block between your thighs. Inhale, sweep your arms overhead, interlace your fingers, cross your thumbs, point your index fingers to the sky. Grow tall out of your waistline as you inhale, and exhale, lean the upper body to the right. If this is painful, a sense of compression or lack of support in the low back, you can bring your right hand to your hip. Otherwise, use your right arm to gently lengthen the left side of the body by pulling the left arm long. Root from the left hip down through the left heel. Again, engage the legs. Jani Bandha, knee lock. Push weight through the heels, reach through the fingertips, and with awareness, start to turn your gaze up beyond your left tricep muscles towards the ceiling. Soften the edges of your mouth and breathe awareness along your left side body, along the shoulder, between the ribs, down the outer hip. Notice what you're encountering and try to breathe expansion, a sense of surrender and release into those tight areas. Inhale, come back through center. Perhaps switch the interlace of your fingers, bringing the opposite thumb in front or left hand to the hip. Inhale to grow tall, and exhale, lean the upper body left, hips to the right, keeping hips and chest squared forward. If the hands are on the lace, if the hands are interlaced, use the left hand to draw the right side body longer. If the hand is on the hip, use the hand against the hip to push the hips down to lift the chest higher, to make the spine longer, to make the crescent shape deeper, more expansive on the right side. Take your gaze up beyond your right tricep muscles. Soften the edges of your mouth, relax your jaw, turn your attention to your breath to your right side, along the shoulder, between the ribs, down the outer waistline, down the outer hip. Keep the legs engaged. And inhale, let's come back to center. Okay, let's interlace the fingers behind the head for today's back bend. Widen out through the elbows and hug your shoulder blades together behind your heart. Engage the legs, lengthen the tailbone down, lift the gaze, lift the chin, lift the heart. Now begin to release the weight of the head into the support of your hands, using your thumbs to pull your neck long as you widen your elbows out. Continue to breathe. Inhale, inflate the chest space. Exhale, let the chest float skyward as you lean the weight of the upper body back, keeping the legs secure, the hips over the heels, grounding from the hips to the heels as the upper body leans back. Curl back, look back into the unknown. Okay, and then chest forward, elbows forward, head comes up last, arms by your side. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead, palms come to touch. And exhale, gently fold forward, fingertips to the floor. Release your head down and walk out your forward fold. Bending one knee, reach the opposite hip, up and out. Connecting with the backs of the legs, releasing through the low back. And if it feels okay for the knees, lift up onto the heels, bend the knees forward to sit down towards your heels. Do that once. Do that twice, and perhaps do that a third time. Okay, we're going to go into a deep forward fold. Walk your fingertips behind your heels. Bend your knees to connect your torso and your thighs. Lift your heels and slide your hands underneath your heels, pinky fingers touching side by side. Now begin to push your feet into the floor. Push your heels into your hands, and with your hands lift up on your heels. Sandwich your belly towards your thighs, your face towards your legs, below the knees. Extend the crown of your head towards the ceiling. And again, you might choose to close your eyes here as you turn your senses internally. Where are you feeling? What are you feeling? Is there a signal from your body to back off, like a signal of pain? Or is there perhaps just discomfort that needs to be seen, that longs to be surrendered? So breathe throughout your body in this shape. Slowly untuck the fingers from under the heels. Inhale, palms to shins, halfway lift. Exhale, flow forward. Inhale, rise to stand, arms overhead, palms come to touch. Exhale, hands through heart center, arms to your sides, Tadasana. So we tried this last week, and I'm going to invite you to do this again. So we're going to approach fierce chair from up high rather than down low. So instead of sitting into our chair and coming up as we often do, we're going to sit straight down into the chair. So I really encourage you, if you have props, to use them. If it is not possible, if it's not accessible for you to bring your inner feet, inner ankles, inner knees together, then it's going to be helpful to have a block at its lowest setting between the thighs. I think I'll practice that way today. So if you have a block, if you have two blocks, the second block may be used between the hands. This can be done without a block, but it gives you that resistance to push into. So I'm going to have you extend your arms forward, starting with the fingertips, the arms at the height of the shoulders, parallel to the floor, and then squeeze the block gently between your hands. Extend your arms forward and then plug your arms deeply into your shoulder sockets. Sweep the block slowly overhead, keeping your arms engaged in your shoulder sockets. And then attempt to pull your biceps back behind your ears without thrusting your chest or low ribs forward. Okay, squeeze the block or squeeze knees and thighs. Engage your legs. Engage your legs as you begin to sit your hips back into your chair. Weight will shift to your heels. Thighs close to parallel with the floor. Inhale, come back up, pushing into the floor, reaching into the sky. That's one. We're going to do 4 more. Exhale, hips go low, weight shifts to the heels. Squeeze your block or ankles and knees. Inhale, rise. Exhale, lower. Inhale, rise, 3. Exhale, lower. Try to bring the hips down at the same rate. Inhale, rise. Exhale, lower. Inhale, rise. I'm feeling 1 more. Let's do 1 more. Exhale, upper body back, lower ribs in, hips go low, weight shifts to the heels, push down through the feet, come back up. Release the block off to the side. Shake out your arms, and we will do our C salutations today. So this will be the kind of ground up approach to the fierce pose. So maybe too much information. I'll show you what we're doing. Okay, so if you've done this with me before, this will be familiar. If you haven't done this with me before, you've probably never seen this. Inhale, sweep your arms overhead. Exhale, we're going to flow forward. You can just watch me on this first one unless you've done this with me before. Inhale, palms come to shins. Exhale, we're going to sit the hips back into our awkward chair, our fierce chair. And then inhale, arms are going to come forward into a half chair. Exhale, sink the hips down, swing the legs overhead. Inhale, come forward. Try to balance back into a half chair pose. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, hands through heart center and arms to the sides. So this might be done with the block between the thighs. I haven't done it that way before, but I'll try it today. So again, when you sink the hips down, squeeze the knees and ankles in. Draw the waistline back, sink the hips low. And then this is called a C salutation, S-E-A. C, so you can think about the movement back like a wave. Okay, let's do this together a few times. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, sink the hips down, fingertips back, weight in the heels. Inhale, arms forward, half chair. Exhale, sink the hips down, swing the legs overhead. Inhale, momentum coming forward, balance. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, rise to standing, push down with the feet, reach with the hands. Exhale, hands through heart center and arms to your sides. Again, inhale, sweep up. Exhale, flow forward, move with the breath. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, sink the hips low. Inhale, arms forward, waistline back. Exhale, sink the hips to the floor. Sweep the legs overhead, wave. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, flow forward. Inhale to rise. Exhale, hands through heart center and arms to your side. Let's do that again. Inhale, sweep up. Hopefully you're getting the hang of it, getting the rhythm. Movement and breath. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, sink the hips, reach the arms, waistline back. Exhale, melt the hips to the floor, wave. Inhale, momentum forward, balance. Exhale, flow forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, flow in. Inhale, rise to stand, reach up, look up. Exhale, hands through heart center and arms to your sides. Very nice. Okay, we're gonna do some, step to the middle of your mat. We're gonna swing the legs out a little bit. So step into your left foot, arms at your sides, and then start to kick your right foot forward and back. Foot, leg, the whole thing moves forward and back. So you're balancing on your left leg, some vigorous movement, and I think the arms kind of just know what to do, hopefully, to keep you mostly balanced here. Okay, a couple more swings. And then inhale the right leg forward. You bring your hands to your hips. Push down through the left leg, lift into the left kneecap, wrap the right outer hip down, reach through the right heel, pull back through the right toes, engage Janu Bandha, lift into the right kneecap, chest and hips squared forward for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Swing the right leg back. Bring the chest and back leg parallel to the floor into a flying warrior pose. Push down through your left leg, lift into your left kneecap, wrap your right outer hip towards the floor, lift through your right inner upper thigh. Hands on the hips or arms back, arms out, or reach forward, look forward for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hands to the hips. Stand back up, right foot to the floor, invisible hula hoop. One direction, knees and ankles soft. Other direction. And second side. Step down into your right foot, creating a solid wide base with your right foot. Arms at your sides, and start to swing the left leg forward and back with reckless abandon. You know, you're kicking lamps off of tables. That's how reckless you're being here. I'm just kidding. You don't have to be reckless. Just vigorous. Whew. I love this. I love doing this for some reason. Okay, couple more times, couple more swings. And then left leg forward, hands to hips. Square the hips, root down through your right leg, pull up right kneecap, pull up left kneecap, reach through the heel, pull back through the toes. Hips at an even height. Focus the gaze, push down through the right leg, broad across the chest. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Swing the left leg back, keeping the hips at an even height. Wrap the left outer hip down, lift into the right outer hip. Engage the knees. Janu Bandha, arms back, chest forward, collarbones broad. Either arms back, either perhaps arms out or arms forward. Reach forward, look forward. Leg and chest parallel to the floor for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly come back up to stand and invisible hula hoop. Ankles and knees soft, one direction and the other direction. Okay, let's do a tree pose, and then we'll get to down on the floor. Left foot into the floor, right knee, right toes out. Keep the hips and chest squared forward. Ground down through that left leg. So take a moment, visualize roots extending from your body into the earth. Did you do it? We're not going to continue until you've done it. Watch those roots grow deep. And then hands to hips. Place the right foot to the inside of the calf or the inside of the thigh. Or if it's your pleasure today to take half lotus, take half lotus with the right leg. So come into your tree pose, standing on your left leg. Find a point to focus your gaze and recall that connection with the earth, the stability, the strength of your left leg. And recognize that this is not all depending on your cognition to happen. So a lot of this is the reaction of your body to stay balanced. So all these little micro movements in the left leg and in the foot, they're kind of going like this. All of that can be done without a lot of micromanagement. But the more we do this, the more we bring our body into this shape, hopefully the better those reflexes become and the stronger those muscles become. Okay, maybe hands to heart center, collarbones broad. Maybe your tree branches grow. So that connection to the earth, the depth of the roots into the earth are allowing you to reach higher, grow broader. And here, as you might have guessed, today we're going to change our perspective with this pose by turning off that visual component. And then what chaos ensues? So have a sense of humor about this, because the second you close your eyes, balance gets a lot trickier. So I'm really encouraging you to try this today. So how often do you think of this as being a basic or simple or easy pose? Then you close your eyes and then you notice everything that's working here to keep you balanced. It gets amplified. Okay, well that was really hard in my opinion. Take your right foot to the floor. Okay, we're not moving forward until we've rooted down. So extend energy down. Visualize those roots growing from your body into the earth. Establish that security, that stability, the trust of your right leg to keep you upright. Knee and toes turn out, left foot to the calf or the thigh, or lotus leg. Extend out through your left inner thigh, contract through your outer hip, broad across the front of the pelvis, broad across the front of the chest. Find a point to focus your gaze, hands to heart center. Then just notice those little wobbly micro movements of the right foot, of the right leg to keep you stable, keep you upright. Perhaps grow your branches. The depth of the branches or the roots below, reflecting or mirroring the expansion, the reach of the tree limbs above. Okay, close those eyes. What chaos ensues when you change your perspective? Something you thought was simple, something you thought perhaps was easy, becomes much more complex, much more challenging by simply turning off that visual element of the pose. So have a sense of humor about it. Recognize the beauty of this expanded view of the pose. And what kind of negotiation does it now take to get to that more stability, to standing on your foot? Might be a long journey. The road ahead has now extended out. Okay, so that was fun. Now we will come down onto the floor as promised. We're going to do some cat and cow shapes. So plant the wrists below your shoulders, knees are hip width distance. Inhale, belly and chest down, tailbone and gaze lift into our cow pose. Exhale, round the spine, chin to chest, belly button towards the ceiling, tailbone towards the floor, push the floor away, dome the upper back. Cat pose, and move through these two shapes with the pace of your breath. Again, option to close your eyes as you move through these two shapes. And today I'm really hoping you'll emphasize or bring awareness to the synchronization of breath and movement. How it takes the entire course of the inhalation to reach the peak expression of your cow pose, the entire course of your exhalation to move into the cat pose. So we're not only interested in the achievement or the holding of the postures, but we're present throughout the movement between the shapes. So the practice isn't just those moments when you're holding a pose. The practice is all the moments between, all the moments after. Okay, let's come back to a neutral spine. One of my favorite exercises lately has been to take to these upper back curls. So let's bring the left hand below the face, the right hand behind the skull. Inhale, open the chest towards the right, elbow and gaze point skyward. Exhale, right elbow to left forearm or wrist. Inhale, open right. Exhale, curl in. Inhale, open right. Exhale, curl in. Two more. Inhale, open right. Exhale, curl in. Last one. Inhale, open right. Head into hand. Exhale and curl in. Right hand below the face. Left hand to the back of the skull. Inhale, open the chest towards the left wall. Gaze and elbow up. Exhale, round the upper back as you bring the left elbow to the right wrist. Inhale, open. Exhale, curl in. 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 Inhale, open left. And exhale, curl in. Plant your wrists below your shoulders and extend your legs back into a plank position, like the top of a push-up. If your hips are sagging towards the floor, draw your lower ribs in, lift your inner thighs up, lengthen your tailbone back. And if they're still not in line with your shoulders and your ankles, bring your knees down to the floor for better alignment. Okay, so extend the right arm forward. Look forward. Try to keep weight even in the feet, although your weight is going to shift towards the left. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hand down. Left arm extends forward. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hands down. Left leg lifts. Heel to the height of the hip. Engage the muscles of the legs. Jani Bandha. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Left foot down. Right leg lifts. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Knees down. Tailbone towards the ceiling like you're doing cow pose in the low back. Reach your chin and chest forward. Exhale, bend your elbows back, chin and chest to the floor. Inhale, curl forward, press the tops of your feet down. Engage the muscles of your legs, lengthen your tailbone, draw in and up on your lower abdomen. Elbows in, collarbones broad, shoulder blades on the back. Inhale, peel your chin and chest up off the floor. Little baby cobra pose. Elbows in, collarbones broad. Look mom, no hands. And then push your hands down. Isometrically pull the heels of your hands back. Come on up, king cobra pose. Lengthen the toes back. Engage the legs. Lower abdomen in and up. Collarbones broad, shoulder blades on the back, shoulder blades down the back. Elbows in, elbows down, and then lower down to the floor, chin to the mat. Tuck the toes, lift the kneecaps, lengthen the tailbone, engage the legs, lower abdomen in and up. Exhale, push up from the floor. Inhale in plank, exhale back, downward facing dog. Try not to adjust the length of your shape too much. Inhale, forward to plank. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, press up, push up. Exhale, hips go back. 4 more. Inhale, forward. Exhale, lower. This can be done on your knees. Inhale, press. Exhale, hips go back. 2. Inhale, forward. Exhale, lower. Inhale, press. Exhale, back. 3. Inhale, forward. Exhale, lower. Inhale, press. Exhale, back. 4. Last one, first set. Inhale, forward. Exhale, lower. Inhale, press. Exhale, back. 5. Left foot an inch towards center as you lift your right leg straight up and back. Knee and toes point down, hips at an even height. Engage the legs, lift both kneecaps. Janu Bandha. Push your hands forward, reach your hips up and back. Look to the top of your mat, and as you exhale next, plunge your right foot to the top of your mat, landing it between your hands into your lunge. Knee over the ankle, long stride. Temporarily bend the back knee to feel the weightiness of the hips as the right thigh comes parallel to the floor. And then lift strongly through the back inner upper thigh. Scissor the legs together, left foot forward, right foot back, hands to the hips, draw back through the sides of the waistline, come on up. Crescent lunge, arms to your side, shoulders roll back. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, open the chest to the right, arms down to the height of the shoulders. Stay deep in your lunge. Inhale, chest orients forward, arms overhead. Exhale, open right 2. Inhale, forward. Exhale, open right 3. Inhale, forward. Exhale, open right 4. Inhale, forward. Exhale, open right 5. Either choose to stay with the arms at the height of the hips, or the height of the shoulders, or wrap your right hand to the outside of your left thigh. Sweep your left arm over your left ear. Lift up out of your left waistline. Lunge deep into your right foot. Shift weight back to your right heel. Lift into your left inner thigh. Breathe and notice the strength of your abdomen to open your chest towards the right wall. For 5, soften the edges of your mouth. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take your chest back, forward, hands frame the front foot. Step back, downward facing dog. Push the hands down and forward, shift the hips up and back. Reacquaint with your dog. Breathe slowly, breathe deeply. Perhaps closing your eyes to turn your proprioception back up. Where are you feeling? What are you feeling? Are there feelings that might be difficult to face in this moment? Not out of pain, but just out of discomfort, or perhaps a feeling of not wanting the sensations you may be encountering. Bring breath, bring awareness, perhaps acceptance, perhaps surrender to your body, to your experience of this moment. Inhale, left leg lifts straight up and back. Knee and toes point down, hips at an even height. Lift with the strength of the inner thigh. Both knees engaged. Janu Bandha, right heel melts towards the floor. Hands evenly pressed down and forward. Look to the top of your mat. And exhale, lunge your left foot between your hands. Set up with your long stride, knee above the heel. Left leg bent at a 90-degree angle, left thigh parallel to the floor. Bend the right knee so the hips melt down and forward a little bit. And then lift strongly through the right inner upper thigh. Scissor the legs together, left foot pulls back, right foot draws forward, hands to hips, elbows to the ceiling, draw back through the sides of the waistline. Hips and chest square forward. Arms at your sides, shoulders broad. Inhale, collarbones broad. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead. Exhale, open the chest towards the left, arms to the height of the shoulders. Inhale, forward 1. Exhale, open left 2. Inhale, forward. Exhale, open left 3. Inhale, square the chest forward. Exhale, open left 4. Inhale, forward. Exhale, open left 5 and hold. Use the abdominal muscles to shift the right belly, the right ribs, the right chest towards the left wall. Perhaps choose to stay here or wrap the left hand to the outside of the right thigh. Reach the right arm up and over the right ear if you have the bind. Sink weight into your front foot and then pull it back to the left heel. Pull it back to the right foot. Scissor the legs in. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Square the chest forward. Hands frame the front foot. Step back. Downward facing dog. Walk it out. Return to your dog. Arrive in the moment. Let the resonating energy of the previous pose, the practice thus far, be experienced in this moment. Inhale, come forward to plank, shoulders over the wrist. Look forward and down at the top of your mat. Lift the left leg to the height of your hips. Right arm extends forward. Hips and shoulders at an even height for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hand down, foot down. Other side, last side. Right leg lifts, left arm reaches for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hand down, foot down, knees down. Tailbone lifts, chin and chest forward. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, push forward, press the tops of the feet down. Shoulder blades on the back, curl up. Little baby cobra pose. Lower abdomen in and up. Kneecaps engaged so the kneecaps lift. And draw up away from the floor. Look ma, no hands. Shoulder blades on the back, using the strength of the upper back to lift and open the chest. Then hands down, elbows in. Shoulder blades on the back, shoulder blades down the back. Collarbones broad, heart lifted, keep the legs engaged. Big old cobra pose. Exhale, lower down. Tuck the toes, engage the legs, lift the kneecaps, lengthen the tailbone, shoulder blades on the back. Exhale and push up and push back. Downward facing dog. Second set, 5 push-ups. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, press. Exhale, go back 1. Big push here before we do some floor work. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, press up. Exhale, back 2. Inhale, forward. Exhale, lower. Inhale, press. Exhale, back 3. Inhale, forward. Exhale, lower. I'm doing this with you. Push up 4. And last one, best one. Inhale, forward. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, press up. Exhale, back. Downward facing dog. Hands down and forward, hips up and back. Release the weight of your head. Enter this moment. And if this moment is requiring a child's pose, move into that shape. Relax the expression from your face. Bring your awareness back inward. What are you feeling? Where are you feeling? How is the intensity of the practice so far? How is it resonating in your body at this moment? Lower your knees to the floor and swing your legs forward. As promised, a slower moment. So we're going to do a prolonged Supta Padangusthasana series. So if you have a strap is great. If you have a necktie or a hand towel, those will also work well. Okay, lengthen through the heels as you find yourself on your back in a fallen mountain, reclined Tadasana. Okay, lengthen out through your left leg, draw your right knee into your chest, take the strap around the knuckles or the toe mounds of your right leg, and then extend your right leg straight, or as straight as possible. So lengthening along the back of the leg, engaging along the front of the leg. So again, Janu Bandha, kneecap lifts with the engagement of the muscles around the knee. Left leg grounds, pushing the heel down, pushing the left calf down, wrapping the left inner thigh towards the floor. Now, once you have the right leg straight, the left leg grounded, start to lift the right heel towards a 90-degree angle. So the heel is directly over the hip. Keep enough slack on your straps so that the head and shoulders can rest comfortably on the floor. So we don't need, we're not seeking any strain in the upper body. So this isn't core work just yet. So keep the head and shoulders relaxed, focusing on the right leg. So there's different ways to flex the foot or push energy out through the foot. So you can experiment with different positions of the foot. The most traditional way of doing this pose is probably to hold the toe with the middle index finger. That's kind of where the name of the pose comes from, hand to big toe pose. So that would kind of have I would suspect that would have the heel at the highest point. So you might first experiment with pulling the toes back and really pushing the heel up as high as it will go. And notice what that engages, what that brings awareness to along the back of the right leg. And I was doing this sequence yesterday, and I practiced yoga weekly, a few times a week, consistently over the past dozen years or so, and I was just amazed by what I was finding yesterday. So even just a few days not addressing these muscles, not looking at parts of the body, can start to you can start to build tension. So that's just always going. I feel like that's always going to happen. So that keeps the practice interesting, and it also keeps the practice challenging, because progress or your expression of the poses, what the poses look like, what the poses feel like, is not just a lateral experience where you get more and more open, more and more strong every day, every week, every year. So take a good look at what you're feeling today in this shape. And again, consider this idea of surrender. Surrendering to the experience, surrendering tension where you find it. Okay, so let's pass the foot or the strap into the right hand. Left hand pushes the left thigh towards the floor to keep the left hip grounded as you slowly widen the right leg out to the right. So when we slow down the practice, when the invitation becomes to turn the gaze inward as as kind of the noise of the practice quiets down, this is the time when outside thoughts, outside pressures seem to want to come in. So notice that happening. And keep inviting yourself back into the experience of the present moment. And you might consider what kinds of thoughts invade at this time, what kind of thoughts might, how that might correspond to the experience of the shape. You might also consider the types, can you make a distinction between the thoughts that are rising and potentially the emotions that might be elicited from this practice, from this shape, from this point in the practice. And again, sometimes there's this idea that those thoughts, those emotions, those physical sensations that are brought about by the yoga practice are hard to face, or unwelcome, are unpleasant. But I encourage us to start with a place to start in order to potentially move forward and start to, build more harmony in the body, build more balance. Would just be to have acceptance around what you do encounter, where you are at today. And then maybe there's a opportunity, this might be a big maybe, but maybe there's an opportunity to reframe the experience into something that is pleasurable, into something that you enjoy. Right leg back to center, and then sweep the right leg to the left. So the right hip lifts up off the floor. Bring the right shoulder back towards the floor so the chest stays open. And what does what comes up with this shape? So invite your awareness into this shape. Notice any obstacles keeping you from being present. Notice cognitively what those thoughts might be that are coming up, how they may relate to this physical experience. Could you distinguish your thought pattern from any resonant emotions that might be happening right now? And then can you start to form acceptance around the experience? Perhaps those unwanted, hard to face physical, emotional, or cognitive experiences. Yes, we are all doing this together. We are all in our own bodies having our own experiences, and it's great to relate our experiences. But it's also, I think, good to remember that you are developing expertise at your own body. And that might mean your poses look different than mine. Okay, right leg back to center. Left foot bends to the floor. We're going to bring the right knee in and up towards the right armpit. Squeeze it in. We're going to take hold of the right foot, interlace the fingers around the foot. Kick your foot into your hand and then pull your knee down towards the floor for half happy baby. So take a moment. Notice what you're feeling, where you're feeling. Do you want more sensation from this shape? Or is this at a level that is good for your, is an appropriate amount of stimulation right now? If not, then extend your left leg straight. And then what is that experience? If you've extended the leg, how does that change the pose? So be kicking with the right foot into the hands and with the hands drawing the right knee down towards the floor. Deep, slow breath. So this is one thing where I feel the challenges of the home practice really come into play when the practice slows down. When those outside thoughts begin to invade and start to feel urgent. Even though you've made this time to practice, we're still in the parameters of the 90 minutes guideline. Okay, let's bring the right ankle to the outside of the top of the left thigh, keeping the foot flexed, the ankle straight, re-square the hips if they've gone off to the left. Then bring the left knee in towards the chest, interlacing the fingers behind the left thigh or in front of the left shin if that's available. So I'll give you several variations of this hip opener today. So this might be the first bus stop. Second place might be to hook the right elbow and the left elbow underneath the right shin, extending the left leg straight, and then bringing a little bit of core activity into this by lifting the head and shoulders up away from the floor. So here, or keep the left elbow there, wrap the right arm behind the head and clasp fingers, releasing the head back into the right arm, keeping the foot flexed all the while, awareness in the right outer hip. Breath continuing, always continuing with the breath. Hey, what the heck? Why don't we try to put our legs behind our heads today? Who's with me? Am I going to try to do that? Okay. Right foot stays flexed. So like you're doing happy baby, draw the knee down. And try to get the shin behind the head. Whew, haven't done this in a while. Stupid human tricks, I call this. And when you're ready, come on out of there. Left leg extends forward, right hands behind the leg, reach up through the heel, and then curl the head towards the leg, chin towards the chest, belly button towards the spine, left leg extends out, maybe lifted, for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Head down, leg down. Nice job, right leg. Whew. Right leg extends out. Stay with me, people. This is some good stuff. Okay, right leg extends, left knee into the chest. Take the strap around the left foot, and then extend the left leg straight. Square out the hips, extend along the back of the leg, engage the top of the left leg, Janu Bandha, knee lock both legs. Head and shoulders rest. They'll get to activate a little later, as we now know. Right inner thigh wraps towards the floor. Communicate with your left leg. Perhaps the eyes closed, a common theme in today's practice. Turning up the volume on that proprioception, the experience, the sensory experience of your own body. perhaps with your eyes closed. As you explore this shape, you might also feel your own heartbeat, something that you are not likely aware of otherwise. Again, making the heel, let's experiment with making the heel the highest point of the shape. And then along the course of this hold, you might find that the pose, you back off from the shape or bring more depth to the shape by pulling the leg, extending the leg past that 90-degree angle. Okay, let's pass this foot or the strap into the left hand. Right hand grounds the right thigh. Slowly widen the left leg out to the left. Extend through the inner leg. Contract through the outer hip. Ground the right thigh. Ground the back of the right hip. Ground the back of the right shoulder. So you stay broad across the front of the chest. Again, recognize the thoughts, the cognition that might come along with this quieter point in the practice. Might even be connected to this particular shape. Is there a distinct emotional component to your body, to this experience? Invite your mind, your thoughts back into an observation of this experience, an observation of this moment. Left leg back through center, pass the strap into the right hand or the foot into the right hand. As you stack the left hip on top of the right, extend the left arm out to the left. Collarbones stay broad, chest open to the sky. Push out through both feet. Even here, can you engage Janu Bandha, lifting the kneecaps? Widen the left outer hip away from the face, perhaps to intensify the experience of the left outer hip, the low back, the length of the outer left leg. Notice any tension in the face. So often the face has these corresponding expressions that come along with, they reveal, the face might inadvertently be revealing some emotion, some reaction you would have to this shape. And perhaps by calming that reaction, calming that expression, you can connect more deeply with that idea of surrender or acceptance to exactly where you find the state you find yourself in on the mat today. And by allowing yourself to be here, giving ourselves the opportunity to move forward, to expand, to move into something new, rather than being mired by the blockages we might be experiencing. Okay, let's bring the left leg back to center, re-square the hips, flex the left foot, cross the left ankle over the right thigh, widen the left knee away, and bring the thigh in towards the chest, bringing the shin parallel to the chest. Interlace the fingers behind the thigh, or if it's available, in front of the shin. And again, we're going to have many opportunities to modify this shape, to explore different ways to target the left hip. So this might be where you choose to stay, or you can hook the elbows underneath the shin, extending the right leg straight, engaging the abdomen as you curl the head and shoulders up away from the mat. Either choose to stay here or wrap the left arm behind the head, grasping the big toe or the hands. And then, who wants to throw their leg behind their head? Or at least try it. If so, tuck your left shoulder behind your calf. Try to get that leg back there, extending the right leg out. Engaging the abdomen. Okay, and wherever you are, come back. Square the hips, extend the left leg up, right leg out. Wrap your hands behind your left leg, and now we will all engage the core, lower ribs in and back, belly button in towards the spine, chin to the chest, forehead towards or to the legs, fingertips slide up towards the heel, right leg extends out and reaches down. Soften the edges of the mouth, curl in for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly lower the upper body, lower the right leg down. Whew. Lie on your back for a moment, extending out through your limbs. Tuck the shoulders gently underneath you. Back to the breath. Eyes can be soft at the ceiling, or eyes can be closed. Again, this idea of resonant energy. Invite yourself into the moment. Perhaps recognize any blockages keeping you from this moment. And by identifying those thoughts, those emotions, those sensations that might be keeping you from being present, can we start to have some surrender, some acceptance around where we find ourselves today on the mat. Okay, let's do just one of our Building Bridges series before we start to move towards Savasana. So if you've been with me the past couple weeks, I've invited this idea of building our bridge, getting it bigger and bigger. So heels in towards your hips, knees parallel, arms at your sides. Let's start with the little baby foot bridge over a nice brook, babbling brook. Extend through the knees, lift through the hips, lengthen through the tailbone. Think about how weight may shift to the outer heels, allowing the knees to fold out to either side of the room. So counter that by pushing down through the inner feet, lifting through the outer hips, lengthening through the tailbone. Feel an opening across the front of the hips, across the front of the thighs, engaging the back of the body to lift and open the front of the body. And then hips down to the floor. Let the feet walk away from one another, knees fall together, hand to the belly, hand to the heart. Eyes soft or closed, back to the breath. And next, heels in towards the hips, feet parallel. Lift the hips as you interlace your fingers behind your back. Tuck your shoulder blades onto the back of your heart, lifting the vertebra of the upper back up and away from the floor. Push your feet down and forward, wrap your inner thighs down, lift your outer hips up. Tilt your chin towards your chest and look down the front line of your bridge. Is your bridge lopsided, like mine? Easier said than done. Try to breathe into your lower side, if there is one that is present. By expanding the lung of that corresponding side, can you start to produce more balance from within? You might even close your eyes. That might help you better connect with the imbalance. Help you bring awareness to the shape from the inside. Lower the hips down, untuck the shoulders, walk the feet as wide as the mat, let the knees fall together or towards one another. Hands onto the body. Reconnect with the breath, using the hands as these external sensors. How does the breath move the outer body? And what is the corresponding experience of that movement? Okay, third bridge. The river's getting wider, so we're going to need a bigger bridge. So it can be the bridge we've done previously, or I'll invite you to take a bound bridge, either by sliding the heels of the hands below the heels of the feet, palms facing up, or grabbing the outer ankles if that's available. So you might notice that your heels come up, but as you tuck your shoulders, you can perhaps shimmy your heels back down. Inner thighs ground, lengthen the tailbone, shoulder blades deep on the back, chin towards the chest. Okay, again, invitation to close the eyes once you've identified any imbalance in the expression of the pose. And then turn on those proprioceptors. Look at what's going on inside. What muscles are you feeling? What's stretching? What's strengthening? What's expanding? What's contracting? And how does breath move through the two experiences? Okay, slowly deconstruct your bridge, lower the hips back down, untuck the shoulders, feet apart, knees together, expand through the low back, hands to belly, hands to heart. Gaze at the ceiling or close the eyes. Okay, last opportunity to do a back bend. So bridge, bound bridge, or follow me up into wheel pose, guys. Hands frame the head, fingertips towards the shoulders, elbows towards the ceiling. Feet hip width distance, lift the hips, come to the top of the head. Bring the hands in towards the shoulders, elbows in towards the armpits, roll towards the bridge of the nose, inner feet down, outer hips lift. And everyone together, 1, 2, 3, push the chest up, wheel pose. Inner thighs down. Gaze now between your hands. Maybe again, close your eyes. Where are you feeling? What are you feeling? Bring your awareness into this moment. Reconnect with your breath. Tuck your chin. Everybody come back down. Extend out through your legs. Arms at your sides. Lie on your back for a moment. With your eyes closed again, sense your body. Notice how your body feels in this reclined position after those back bends. Bring the left foot back to the floor, right knee in and up towards the right armpit, squeeze it in, squeeze it up. Right foot down, left knee in and up, squeeze it in, squeeze it up. Left foot down. Both knees up, grapple, cup the knees in the hands, and then push the knees into the hands. Rock the hips side, rock the knees, rock the hips side to side as you massage the sacral spine. And then we're going to come to happy baby. Grab the outside edges of the feet, soles of the feet to the sky, rock side to side. One knee down and the other. And today we'll do something different. Extend the legs out. Push out through the soles of the feet. Lift the kneecaps, lengthen the tailbone down. And then bend the knees, bring the inner feet together, interlace the fingers, extend through the inner thighs, contract through the outer hips, flatten the low back. With the pressure of the hands and the interlaced fingers, feel the heads of the arm bones curl away from the floor. And lastly, great job. Recognize your effort today and embrace yourself. Wrap your arms around the fronts of your legs. Grabbing wrists, forearms, or elbows. And then tilt your chin to your chest. Pull your forehead towards your knees. Tuck your tailbone towards your heels. Pull in. And then let go. Find your way either to lying on your back, or if you'd like to take an additional moment to bring a bolster or a blanket to an unobstructed wall space. Have your, if you have a strap with a loop, make the loop about 12 inches wide in diameter. Shift your hips to the wall. Swing your legs up the wall, then shimmy your hips up onto the height of the blankets. Loop the strap around your ankles. So again, in lieu of a inversion today, we're going to potentially take legs up the wall for our final pose. If you guys would like some homework, do a headstand at some point today. Time it. Try it for a minute. Try for 2 minutes. Try for 5 minutes. Arrive with your breath. Arrive with your body. You might make some subtle adjustments in this shape, tucking the shoulders underneath the chest. Tucking the chin towards the chest to lengthen the neck. Again, start your approach to this shape by closing the eyes and awakening the proprioception senses. Can you feel any inadvertent tension in any of the muscles? If so, encourage release. Practice acceptance, practice surrender. So that we might be untethered from the weight of the past. One idea I always come back to in approaching Savasana is this idea of non-attachment. Is it possible to take ourselves out of the weight of this physical, this embodiment? And recognize that our beings are conduits of energy connected to one another, connected to everything around us. I invite you to begin to reanimate the extremities of the physical being, movement of fingers, movement of toes. Slide your heels down the wall, unloop the strap, take your right arm along your right ear and roll onto your right side, transitioning from our Savasana, our corpse pose, into this fetal position. Perhaps approaching the day with new perspective. Push your way back up into our first seated position of today's practice and our last position. Keep your eyes closed, and I invite you to take your hands onto your own heart. Reconnect with your breath, and we'll chant Om to close the practice. Exhale and inhale for Om. Thank you for your presence, your focus, and your dedication to this practice. The light in me recognizes and honors the light in each of you. Namaste. Thank you guys. Thanks for being here. That was a little different sequence than normal. I hope that it worked well for you. Tell me, give me your feedback. Tell me what you liked, what worked, what might not have worked as well. I will be here next week. I'll be here tomorrow. I'll be here Wednesday. So this is the 90-minute format on Monday. And then it will get a little 15 minutes shorter tomorrow. And then it'll be a roughly 60-minute class Wednesday evening at 5:30 Eastern time. So yeah, please reach out. Even if you reach out every week, I encourage that you keep reaching out. I really appreciate hearing from you guys. And I hope you are doing well. That is all I have to say. I will be turning the stream off now. Thank you.